Well, good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast, Monday morning and first day of May. And I hope you had a wonderful April. Looking forward to a great May. Graduations start happening. People start making their summer plans. And I hope that in all of that, you keep God first in your life. Had a great day yesterday here at the church, and I'm excited to see the downstairs packed. And that's with several other things going on around the city. And just it was exciting to see how God blessed our church, a full house Sunday morning, Sunday night. And I'm excited to see God continue to work in these days. Church still growing. I like that. And God just blessed in a lot of different ways yesterday. And I'm excited about that. Visitors came to church and baptized. And that's what you always want, is you always look forward to seeing what God can do. I hope that that's what your desire is every weekend. But now, as we start the week out, let's try to live for God this week, and let's try to do what's right. Well, I want to talk to you about dealing with criticism. In Nehemiah chapter 2 and verse 19, the scripture says, "But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arabian heard it, they laughed us to scorn and despised us and said, 'What is this thing you will do, that you do? Will you rebel against the king?'" Nehemiah quickly learned that criticism comes if you're doing anything for God. Nehemiah's two greatest critics in his ministry was Sanballat and Tobiah. Now, these men attacked and criticized, but Nehemiah never let their actions stop him from building the wall. Nehemiah understood that the work he was doing was greater than responding to the criticism that came. He understood that the accomplishments of faith works are the greatest condemnation of criticism. He knew, if I just do what faith tells me to do and those works get accomplished, that'll silence the critics. Now, you're going to find, my friend, that criticism will come. If you're doing anything for God, it's going to come. Not criticism. It's not easy to take. I don't care who it is. Nobody likes to be criticized. Nobody just wakes up and says, "Boy, I can't wait for somebody to criticize us." We all want people to like us, but God has given us the wherewithal to be able to endure the criticism. Now, inside of every person is a desire for people to be as happy as we are with what God's doing through our lives. However, you're going to find that there's jealous, lazy, and evil people who will all shoot at their arrows of criticism at you to try to get you to stop doing what brought God's miraculous power on your life. And the reason why is because it's shining a light on their laziness. Now, dealing with criticism is essential if you're going to make it to the end of life and still serve God. Now, I want to give you several things you need to do when the arrows of criticism fly your way. First, never respond to criticism. Proverbs 26:4 says, "Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou be like unto him." The critics want you to respond because responding takes you away from what you're doing. Now, you have to realize that you don't have time to respond because the work you are doing is more important than defending yourself against the criticism. Now, you must make it your policy never to respond to the critic with the criticism, because that makes you no different than the critic. Let me just put it this way: never cast your pearls before the swine. Just because and by the way, there's so many times you could answer a critic and really make the critic look like a fool. But in the meantime, you stop doing what you're supposed to do. So don't respond. Second, pray when criticism comes. Nobody will understand your situation better than God. And casting your frustrations and concerns on God will do more than complaining about the criticism. Nehemiah often prayed after criticism came. That's how he learned to deal with it. Prayer helps you to deal with criticism when it comes. Third, realize the greatness of your work. Nehemiah would not come down from the wall because he was doing a great work. Now, friend, you are doing a great work. So to come down from your work to respond to the critics only satisfies them and stops the great work from going forward, which is what they want. Now, at that time, anytime you stop from the great work that God is doing through your life to respond to criticism, is time you can never take back what God was going to do during that time. Fourth, keep doing what brought the criticism. If what you're doing brings criticism, then continue doing the work. That's what continues to bring God's blessings on your life. Now, don't stop soul winning. Don't stop running buses. Don't stop teaching Sunday school classes. Don't stop building God's church when the criticism comes, because these things will silence the critic when God's blessings continue on these areas of your life. Fifth, let God defend you against criticism. Nehemiah understood that God's answer to criticism is the greatest answer to the critic. So let God answer for you, because he knows how to silence the critics. The greatest way God will silence the critics in your life is by you continuing to do the great work that God's doing through you. The critic will look like a fool when God accomplishes great works through your life. You say, preacher, what's the best way to answer a critic and the criticism? Keep doing what you're already doing that brought the criticism. Let God bless it. Let it succeed, and your success makes the critic look like a fool. Now, it may not happen immediately, but if you keep doing right, in the long haul, you'll always look good. Why? Because you did what God told you to do, and God blessed it. And then the critic looks like a fool. Listen to me. We all want to be a Nehemiah. Nobody wants to be a Sanballat or Tobiah. You never hear a child named after those two people. Why? Because those two ended up looking like fools when God finished the work through Nehemiah that Nehemiah set out to do. Finish what you start. Don't stop. Keep doing what you're supposed to do, and the critics will look like fools when you just do what is right. Well, my friend, I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's remember today, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.